Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Joe Thunder back once again with another episode of the Smoking Joe Thunder podcast. Latest and greatest in hip hop and cannabis news here in Denver, Colorado, but we covering shit from all over the motherfucking world. Got another banger for you today on the Smoking Joe Thunder podcast. Shout out to Be Good Dispensaries, our official sponsor. Catch them over there on 11 West Hampden or up north on 120th across the highway from Boondocks for all your marijuana needs. Like I said, we got a banger for you tonight. These guys got a show tonight. Y'all really need to check it out, man. But we got Elder Sensei in the house, Artifacts.
What up, y'all?
Legendary status, you know what I mean? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. I'm kind of high right. Well, I'm getting there.
Wait till a couple
Starting
more.
off, it's getting lift off.
Wait till this one right here. When this one goes up, then
Okay.
you're gonna be like, oh man, Sadat got a little taser, and you see
All
where
right.
he's at. He's knocked out right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. We got Master of Ceremonies, radio host, MC, producer. What's
sir.
going on?
1, 2, 3 in the place to be. Master of Ceremonies, a.k.a. Willie Maestro, Southwest Stand Up, Albuquerque to Denver.
Yeah, Buddha in the house, you know what I mean? And then right next to him, we got Just P in
Just
the
P, the
motherfucking
Black
house.
Menace. Salute. What up?
Hell yeah, Jamaica Queens,
Jamaica
right?
Queen. Shout out the whole world. Shout out the whole NYC.
How you like Denver, man? You been there a couple
Oh,
times.
yeah. I like it. I have a lot of fun, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could stay longer
Wait
and
till
just
we-
absorb the scene. You know what I'm
Wait
saying?
till we get out tonight, because it's
Oh, hell
Cinco de
yeah.
Mayo, bro.
Yo,
There's
you-
chicks everywhere. Like,
Oh,
there's-
man.
It's going to be, and where y'all performing is literally right across the street from where they have the big main shindig or whatever they call it, man.
Is it like an outdoor event?
Yeah,
So they just going to be celebrating out in the open.
for sure, man.
Wee.
Fire.
Hey, but welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you.
Kind of tell them where you started, man. We're gonna go with the Master of Ceremonies right here. You know what I mean? How did you kind of get introduced to hip hop, and how did you kind of get started in these things? Because you've been out to Denver a couple times. You know what I mean? With L,
Oh, yeah.
with Tash, who else?
Razzcast.
Razzcast,
Spice
yeah.
One. You're
I've been
telling
out
me
here
tonight?
with Alcoholics,
Nice,
Chino
man.
Excel.
How'd you kind of get started in hip hop, and how did all that start, man?
Man, well, I'm in my 40s, so I've been at it for a minute.
For a minute, right?
Yeah. I had
Ain't
an
nothing wrong
uncle
with
that
that.
rapped, and he kind of like inspired me. So when I first started rapping, I would take my older brother raps to school that he was writing, and then I would just pass it around in class and let other people read it. The crazy thing about it is when I started writing my own rhymes, they were saying I was getting better. So that's kind of like where I first started rhyming. But I would just do it around in high school and everything. And then I moved to Germany. And when I moved to Germany, I got with some brothers, Mad Rush and the One Love Fam. Shouts out to them. They started putting me on shows, taking me to radio stations.
And how old
rap.
were you when you were in Germany?
I think I moved out there when I was 19. Yeah, so I started recording like around there. Before that, I had never recorded anything, just rapping around school, you know what I mean?
It's like you said, taking your brother's raps, right?
Taking
Kinda
my
trying to
brother's rap.
emulate it?
Yeah, shouts out to my brother Tommy.
What was he listening to, or what was he kind of influenced by?
We was listening to everything. It's crazy because we was talking about Rap A Lot Records earlier in Ghetto Boys, so we was listening to Ghetto Boys, of course, Tupac, a lot of gangster rap because, you know, at this time I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada, and
That's
in the
definitely
90s,
go to LA, yeah.
Yeah, in the 90s, you know, it was a lot of Bloods and Crips shit going on.
That's what we were just talking about earlier. When they got booted out of LA, or they could no longer either go to jail or move out of town, the first spot was Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
The second spot was Denver. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think Denver's like, I think a lot of people came here because they wanted to kind of get away, but kind of start their own shit. You know what I mean? Like, not really have anyone above them. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And when
yeah.
you're already from a gang from LA and you're in Denver or even St. Louis or anything, everyone's going to look up to you, no doubt, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, in Vegas, it was crazy because there was a lot of, you know, at schools, you couldn't wear certain teams, you know. Yeah,
For real?
everything that you see on Boys in the Hood, Jerry Curls and Chuck Taylors and Dickies, that was the climate out there.
It was
you
really
know.
gangbang like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
What year was this again? I'm sorry.
We talking early 90s, man.
Because I was going to say, I graduated in 92. And I
Okay.
missed the summer of violence here when that shit started cracking. Like, it was, I remember little things starting to happen when, you know, my senior year and whatever. But I kind of went to Albuquerque and stood there. I didn't come back for the summer or nothing, you know what I mean? But
Right,
it kind of
right.
went down. Like, gangbanging was getting real, you know?
Yeah, man. Drive-bys on the first day of school.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
It was wild.
My high school was like a Crip high school, bro. And I remember like on those half days or those days when you would have finals, you know what I mean? Like the Bloods would always come to our school and like, you know what I mean? They would try to fight the Crips and shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
They would try to run up in the
On
school
site.
and shit, and like I just never understood it, bro. Like how you run up in a school full of Crips?
It's crazy, man,
There's
because
5 of y'all.
yeah, I mean, like right now you see Bloods and Crips hanging together, but in the '90s that shit didn't fly. Everything was segregated, you know.
That shit was, yeah. Where'd you go after? Like, what happened after like Vegas? You said you moved to Germany.
I moved to New Mexico, so I was out in New Mexico. I moved there my first year in high school, graduated. Then my pops, he was in the military, so he got out the military, and then we moved to Germany. And at first I didn't want to go because
You probably weren't having it at all.
I was
right?
like, fuck this. But when I went out there, and mind you, I wasn't in Albuquerque. I was in a small town called Clovis, New Mexico.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I've always been a hip hop head. So the most hip hop I got was Rap City and the Source magazine. When I went out to Germany, because, you know, the military bases, you have so many different people, different walks of life.
Yeah.
So even we were talking about mixtapes earlier, you know, the brothers on the base, they were selling them the Clue mixtapes, Tony Touch mixtapes. So yeah, I kind of got exposed to something different that I didn't see in New Mexico. And then, I was reluctant to even step foot off the base. And I was working at this pizza shop, and these guys, they took me downtown, and I went to a club right after work, and I met a brother by the name of Bushy Eyebrows. He passed out a CD to me, and he had his contact information. Now, in New Mexico, we didn't really have anybody that was trying to make it in rap, so when I met him, I was, like, really intrigued by him, so took his information down, called him, he introduced me to my man, Matt Rush, and then from there, it was on and cracking. Yeah.
What's like the hip hop scene in Albuquerque nowadays? Is it like grown? Has it gotten bigger? Because like I was down there in 92, 93, man, and I don't ever remember hearing any kind of local music.
Right.
There were a couple dope DJs. You know what I mean? I remember one thing, man, is I give Albuquerque props for, is they used to have a super dope mixtape show like every night.
Oh, yeah.
Like Denver's never had that live mixing DJing. Like I'm talking getting down. Like
Right.
I remember there was this cat, and I don't remember his name, but he used to DJ at one of the clubs, but he put Black Trump beat to Timberland and Magoo, and it was like the wildest shit I ever heard, bro. And he would just come up with those crazy, just fucking acapellas, the beats, and just make you fucking just want to be a DJ, bro, for real. And I'd go to the club and watch him DJ, and like he would just play the illest shit.
Yeah, a lot of dope DJs out there in Albuquerque. I mean, Albuquerque, the culture is alive out there, especially all elements. Yeah, we've never really had any artists that kind of like, you know, took off completely. But I mean, in this day and age, that's not even necessary. What we doing right now, that's what you need to be doing. But the scene is dope out there. We got a lot of artists, different kind of.
Is it still Wild West out there, bro? Because Albuquerque's dangerous. Like it go down over. I know it can go down anywhere and it can go down, but in Albuquerque, that shit you could just be at the stoplight.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're in some shit. Like motherfuckers trying to.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm at work and then I go home. You might catch me at the grocery store. If there's a hip hop event, I'll step out, but I ain't trying to do too much. You know, I don't want to be a victim at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Because that's one of those places it can happen.
Definitely. A lot of drugs out there. People ain't thinking clearly. So, you know, just be a victim of circumstance.
The war zone the other day. I was like, you ain't never been in the war zone? I'll pray for that. That's someplace you don't want to go. I was like,
Well, the whole thing is like the war zone now because the drugs are so bad. You got these people spread out all over Albuquerque, man. It's sad out there.
Well, my homie told me about New Mexico. He's like, the fucked up thing is everything is generational wealth.
Yeah.
So, like, these kids are entitled and they don't have to work for anything. Their parents got land and it's already
Old
paid
money.
for. It's old money.
Yeah.
So by the time they get it, they're all fucked up on drugs and they just let it go to shit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Then before you know it, it's like the...
That's why you got to marry their daughters.
Gotta wipe them up, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are talking about mixtapes, man. What are some of the classic mixtapes to you of all time?
Well,
Because, like I said, like... I'm going to tell you a story, and this is like some toy shit to me on my behalf, and once I really actually think about it. But I'll tell you, I thought 50 MCs was one big session for some odd reason.
when you listen to the tape.
Yeah, I thought it was just one, you know, like Like he had all the homies just ran a 24-hour fucking or a couple hour thing, and everyone came through, and it was done. And but
That's your favorite mixtape of all time? I'm gonna say DJ Rectangle.
No, DJ. Okay, I don't know which one. I would say DJ Rectangles too, because he was like, I'm telling you, he was that cat that could get the wackest acapella, whatever. You get Ice Baby, and he put it to some beat that would have you fucking rocking out.
Crazy,
you know
right?
What I mean?
Yeah, he'll have Ice Cube rapping on a Tribe Called Quest beat.
Some crazy, wild ass shit. His intros were always the sickest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like we never knew about really like the New York stuff. I know about Clue, I know about Doo Wop, Flex, Tony Touch, but I'm sure there's a million other MCs.
Oh, definitely. DJ Craig G.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You know, Diamond D used to make tapes.
DJ Envy was making tapes.
Envy. Finesse used to make.
Finesse.
K
Slade, he kept it going too.
Lord Finesse used to make mixtapes. Buck Wild made a few mixtapes. But the more famous ones I would say coming up in the 90s, Ron G.
Blends.
See, and that was the thing. You knew which DJs would do what, you know, as far as a party. DJ would have a mixtape or CD, tapes, CDs or whatever. So, like, Ron was more like the cool out tapes where you can have instrumentals, hard body joints, but have R&B songs where you would appreciate them. Where especially like with women, they ride in the car, they hear all these beats coming on, but then they hearing Mary J. Blige on some joints, and you know
they kind of doing that double
Brown
take.
Stone.
Exactly. So you know, so
crazy
Ron
shit.
was known for those tapes just as much as Kid Capri and Brucey B and all them was known for their different variety of tapes where it would seem like when you were in the car you'd be at a party, more or less. You know, just listening to the exclusives. So and then you know later on, it's turned into where Clue got bigger. DJ Drama came in.
Yeah.
You know, people started, and this is where the mixtape started going away.
Yeah.
Because Cass was getting so much exclusive stuff before the albums would come out, and it would affect the record sales, and you know. So this is how
Drama
many
was talking about it where
he was the first one to get caught. No. DJ Spinbad, may he rest in peace.
Right.
DJ Spinbad had one of the illest mixtapes ever,
Spinbad,
where
huh?
DJ Spinbad
I remember that.
was the first mixtape DJ to have the feds come and shut him down.
Wow.
For this one mixtape he had, because he had two, and one of them was just a mashup of all these 80s songs, but he had them shits blended in so good where he was, like I'm saying, like the first guy to have these songs blending in with the original songs.
with the old songs.
But these were all 80 songs, hit songs, top 40 songs. The way he blended them so good. If you didn't hear these songs before and you just started listening to this tape, and from hearing these songs on there, he took you on a journey on this tape so crazy that when everybody heard about this, it was bananas, because like, damn, people started trying to figure out like how good was that tape,
right?
Where because he was selling them so much. And because that now became where the radar would come in, where labels and companies started paying attention. They started paying attention to these guys making money doing these tapes.
Now, what Drama was saying is they were getting so much exclusive material just for their tapes that the record companies were thinking it was their material, but it wasn't. It wasn't even really their material. It was the exclusive, but they kind of tagged it as that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where, like you said, it all started, man.
And everybody started getting. That's why the mixtapes started being presented as albums now.
Albums around that time.
When Flex, you know, Formats of Flex became one of the first DJs to have albums. Like you had the Frankie Cutlass.
Frankie Cutlass. Can't forget him.
They started making them
albums.
compilation albums.
Clue had his.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Professional.
saying? The Professional.
And two.
And two.
You
I was
know
going to ask you that too.
That's what I'm saying.
In your guys' opinion, what are some of the best like mixtape albums, like you said, The Professional, and then some of the best producer albums, like say like when JD put out, was it 1842 or like who else put out like producer albums, like, you know what I mean?
Dr. Dre.
Well, let's start. So
Pete Rock's album.
Yeah, like Pete
The
Rock,
Soul
the one
Brother.
with Deck.
Yeah.
What was
What are we gonna start off with? We're gonna start off with
Lord Finesse, but he was more on the MC tip. You know what I'm saying? When he did his stuff,
right?
He was producing his tracks, right? Though, but I kind of looked at him more as a rapper when he was.
Yeah, like people didn't know Finesse started doing beats more professionally was when he started working with Biggie.
Right.
So, you know, Juicy and, you know, the remixes he did and the Suicide joint, like these, that was Biggie. Like, yo, I like finesse sound, DITC sound. So that's where that came into play.
Are we counting Dr. Dre in this though?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm saying
Dr. Dre doesn't.
Dre
He
had
had
it
that
though.
one album.
Now when he
had
was
the
rapping
Been
or a
there,
compilation.
done
But
that.
you can
That's
say
the first
or,
album.
or the Firm. You could count the Firm.
Nah,
as an
he
album.
also had 2001.
The Chronic.
But that's
Chronic
like an
2001.
album though. That's
Chronic.
like
That's
that's
the
not
same-
like a
that's the
mixtape where that's not like a producer album.
but
That's
it's
like
still more of him and everyone else, not
yeah,
just by
you're right.
himself.
It's like
Yeah.
3. That's like the Dynasty too with Jay-Z. He had
Exactly.
all the homies that made
Yeah.
it bang. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right, but Pete Rock had a ill album. Soul Brother
yeah,
was
so
that
the
shit was Deck and
Soul
Corrupt,
Survivor,
bro.
Soul
yeah,
Survivor.
Soul Survivor. Okay,
Kid
okay.
Capri had an album too.
He had an album
the
too.
Snoop and Slick
Clue
Rick.
had that one. The Professional was amazing when it first dropped.
He had
That's because it was
Eminem,
right
Royce,
there.
And Method Man on the track. Yeah, they were getting some fucking putting in some.
Clue
more.
had him for a minute. Clue had it for a minute. I'm not gonna front.
That's what I hear. I have not heard many DJ Clue mixtapes. I need to
Really?
listen
Now,
to more.
when
but-
we talk about the
I
album,
did because I grew up on
album wise, he had a lot.
I had
he
the
had
album.
joints.
Yeah.
The Professional came out what 98 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good producer.
You gotta
No,
say which one is yours.
What?
Your favorite producer album?
probably the Chronics. You know what I'm saying? Not really the Aftermath presents. Not really the first album when he left Aftermath, but definitely the Chronic. Both the Chronics, the old one and the second one are both. You know what I'm saying?
A good DJ album producer, DJ Honda.
DJ Honda
right.
was good, and Pete Rock's album, Soul Survivor. That was a good one.
Pete, I'll say this with
Pete Rock's album, I can't
Pete
find that.
and
That was a good one.
I say, all right, if we're gonna go early first producer rhymer albums produced by producers
And Kanye. We count Kanye?
No. Let's start with Diamond. Diamond D.
True.
Diamond is one of the first
Stunts, blunts, and
producers
hip hop. True.
to produce his whole album, rhyme on the whole album, feature other artists on the album, and
He was doing
only
it all.
one song he didn't do, and that's the one Q-Tip did. Q-Tip produced one on there. So him and then like say Pete Rock being a DJ on the radio, being a producer and rhyming sometimes, but became an MC, and within the album that he produced, where it's a compilation of other artists on there, but he's on the songs with them. For our Soul Survivor, part 1 and 2, and then we
Dre.
talking about Dre. In the same way,
Yeah,
It's
same way.
still in
That's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
way. You know
Same
what I'm
way.
saying? So all these records gonna be looked at.
Yeah.
as
I
still
these
don't-
dudes are
yeah.
MCs
You don't count
that
Dre?
are
I
mostly
count
producers.
I count his as like a
But
his
Dre-
album. But I told you what you're saying. He had
What about
Because
the Alchemist?
he is a producer.
Huh?
And the Alchemist.
Alchemist too.
The Alchemist too. The Alchemist too.
I would say JD,
DJ
bro.
Muggs,
And
JD.
Soul
Jay
Assassins.
Dilla.
Soulless Muggs too. Muggs
Soul
too.
Assassins.
But
Soul-
with Jay Dilla,
yeah.
Jay
is in,
Dilla?
in Welcome to Detroit album. That album is the same as like I said with Diamond and Pete Rock.
Yeah, same thing.
When you listen to the whole album, he's on some of the songs, but not on all of the songs.
Exactly.
And I was gonna say, going to that is one thing about Tony Touch. He would always drop a couple bars on his
Right.
mixtapes, with the little
Right.
freestyle.
And see, look, even Tony Touch albums was dope.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I consider like I
That
said,
goes back
Frankie
to
Cutlass,
Diamond, definitely though.
a monumental album. 50
Frankie
MC,
Cutlass too, hell yeah.
monumental.
50. Hell yeah, definitely.
Doo-Wop 45. Monumental.
Okay.
Funkmaster Flex.
Doo-Wop was doing this thing too.
he was
Definitely.
one of- and he was one
Funkmaster
of-
Flex albums, them shits was
first
crazy.
But Doo-Wop was
Yo.
one of the first DJs that could rhyme really fucking good.
Yeah.
And
I remember his video.
Hold his own
Cutlass shit,
on
yeah.
other
Hell
people's
yeah.
songs with them. And shit.
I heard
yeah.
he was like kind of the ones that was really getting the exclusive stuff. Tony Touch said that's what inspired him for his 50
Right,
MCs is
right.
that long ass intro on number 45.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite
Funkmaster Flex
mixtape
album.
album. It's Saigon Warning Shots.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite shit right
I
there.
like Saigon. That's the one that had that song on niggas come through, that nigga shot them in the head.
Stop
Good
the
sing,
Cat.
yeah.
And then,
Is that a mixtape that he
Let 'Em
put
Know.
That's when let him
It was a
know.
mixtape, yeah.
That he put out?
Yeah, it's when
Because
he
that's
first
like
dropped.
that's my next one. What are some mixtapes that artists put out, like the 50 Cents? You know what I mean? The
Those are
Saigon,
classics.
you know?
50
Yeah,
Cent,
all
the
the
G
50
Unit
Cent,
mixtape
dude.
run was
Who Kid-
fire.
Who
The
Kid shit.
motherfucking Dipset mixtape run was fire.
One of my favorite ones was Evidence, bro.
All right.
Dilated People, that fucking Cali one, that whole
Ooh,
shit from front to back, like,
Evidence,
The
uh,
Strong Arm Steady mixtape. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Who are some mixtape guys that people don't know about? Like, I'm gonna tell you like some that I know from like the Bay, like the Gumbo Mix. Have you ever heard that? Macadocious Nut or T Ski? Those fools from the Bay. They were
heard
doing
it,
a lot of
I
that
heard
R&B.
it.
What
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. So East New Mexico is right on the Texas border, so we was getting a lot of DJ Screw tapes too. So a lot of people, and Screw at first I couldn't listen to it. I can listen more to the R&B songs than the rap songs, but yeah.
You know the thing with Screw is like, I have to listen to some stuff that I've never heard before. That Screw, like I don't want to hear T.I., you know what I mean, chopped and screwed, or Hail Mary.
But you
Tupac.
can listen to the Isleys,
But yeah, or I can listen to
Chopped
that,
and
or I can
Screwed,
listen to
yeah.
Hawk or like Zero chopped
Do or
and
Die,
Screwed,
or
you
something
know?
like that. Yeah, Twisted.
Was that shit like a big influence in Albuquerque to people, or
In Albuquerque, yeah, because I mean, it's a car culture out there, so a lot of people got systems and everything. And Screw tapes was at one
Espanola.
point was crazy. Yeah,
Shout out Espanola.
low rider capital of the world.
Low Rider? Because my homie Maker is from there, and I went down there for a weekend to kick it with him, and it's crazy because the roads are all fucked up. And he's like, people had to put hydraulics to get their fucking lowriders in, so that's how we got the hydraulics to get them through the fucking streets. And it's like, shit, New Mexico, shit looks ghetto, bro. And they'll have a fucking bomb-ass fucking garage with like 4 lowriders in that bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
fact, yeah.
$100,000 each type shit.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Hey, so what have you been doing lately, man? Have you been traveling and you been doing any shows? Because I know you've been to Denver a couple times.
So me personally, right now, like I just started a label, Clocked In Records, and we did Just P. We released a physical album with that.
Oh, shit,
I did
okay.
some singles that I dropped, working with Empire for distribution for the digital, and then Traffic for the physical. And then next we got the album Just P, Body Bag Ben coming up. So we're gonna try to drop that this summer, all digital.
Right.
Yeah, and then book whatever shows people out there get at us. We trying to make that work. So,
Have they been picking up lately?
I mean, right now it's show season. Like you look in L.A., it's crazy right now.
Yeah. That
you know.
concert in Vegas today, bro. I wish I'd have known that shit was going down. I would have went to
Which
that
one is
shit.
that?
It was like 50 motherfuckers. It's 50, Nori, Mariah
with the
Carey.
Oh yeah, I
R&B.
think I seen
Yeah,
that.
It's like
sold
everywhere.
out
Yeah, I
quick,
think I know
bro.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Super
I
fast.
did. Yeah.
I went to the Rhyme Fest in L.A. about a couple weeks ago, and that shit was lit, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
seen.
Oh, you went out there?
Yeah, that shit
Yeah.
was fun.
Oh man.
Hell yeah, bro. Kicked it with Afro and fucking Farside and fucking,
That's
you
what's
know what I
up.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to go to Back to Basics this year.
trying to hit all that shit, man. Trying to take the podcast kind of on the road, you know?
Right.
That'd be
You got
fire.
to.
Oh
Got
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, well, Just P, kind of tell us a little bit about you, man. Like, you're
Oh,
from,
man.
you said you're from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I mean, I was
Grew-
born in Long Island, Huntington. I moved to Jamaica, Queens when I was 20. Ran all through the streets. Once I moved to Brooklyn first. Once I moved to the boroughs from Long Island, it's like the suburbs to the city. I went all over the city, but I got years in Jamaica, Queens, and been doing this music shit for a minute. And here we are with good peoples, you know what I'm saying? But even without the music, I'm just a very interesting guy. I mean, I've lived life, you know what I'm saying? So I know many different people for many different reasons, you know what I'm saying? As well as I know you guys, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I've always liked to do when I encounter, like, just hear stories about myself, or, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh yeah, because my name is Pierre. That'll be like Pierre from over there. Just P is short for Justice and Power, or Just P, because it's always like Pierre's always doing something. Oh, that's just P over there doing something crazy, or, you know what I'm saying? It's always been like that, but I'm just a real interesting guy. Either way you cut it, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Does Jamaica Queen, does it have like good parts, bad parts? Or is
Yeah,
it-
yeah. I mean, it has good parts and bad parts, you know what I'm saying?
How was it
Jamaica
like
Queen-
growing up there? Were you
Well,
kind of
I
like around
mean-
a lot of the rap culture?
I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Just because, yeah, and that's not has nothing to do with Jamaica Queens. But just real quick before we get into that, Jamaica is big. There's like a lot of big parts where it's a mixture of like suburbs, because like from Long Island, and then you get the big buildings, which is the city. But Long Island is like suburbed out, kind of almost similar to like this. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you get closer, Nassau County, then you cross, and then it's like, so you'll get like a house, and then you'll get fucking buildings and shit like that. Or you'll get like Jamaica, certain parts just be houses. Like South Jamaica is just houses with one project, 40 projects. Baisley's like further on, but there's good parts, you know what I'm saying? Like North Side is kind of good, where it's just hardworking, middle-class black people, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? And even in the South, you know what I'm saying? Because people could just do dumb shit anywhere, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you get into rap music or hip hop?
As far as writing rhymes, I just been doing that since I was a kid, just to express myself. My family's musical, and then I've been around like for one way or another, I met a lot of interesting people and shit like that. But as far as like professionally, you know what I'm saying? I did I did fucking albums with Chamber Music Records. That's kind of how I met him. And I started working with Chamber Music in '09. And that was just off the grind of what I had. Like you press up something and you work
In
your
the streets,
opportunities.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I came across G Clef, started working with a lot of Wu-Tang affiliated because that's what Chamber Music does. And then I
Shouts
did
out to
that.
Clef.
Yeah, shout out to Clef. He just called me too. I got to call him back. And then even that, taking that and also doing my side, like my project solo. You know what I'm saying? Me and my partner, GS Advance, we've been doing albums since, that's someone I went to high school with. You know what I'm saying? So we put albums out and things like that. But every step, every release, you go a couple of steps further. That's one thing I look at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Professionally since 2009.
Who are some of your like influences?
As far as music or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Man, Wu-Tang, Tribe, Tupac, Snoop, Scarface, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube, Kid and Play, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of shit. You know
Nothing
what I'm
wrong with that. You be
Nah,
getting
for
funky.
real.
What? Yo, when I seen that part as a kid in the first movie, that made me start writing rhymes. Like, you know what I'm saying? He went home and started writing rhymes, you know what I'm saying, when he came from school. And as a kid, I seen it.
book. I got the Kid to Play comic.
Remember the cartoon?
The cartoon.
And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fake seen the remake and was okay with it. And that just came out like a month ago.
ain't
But
see it yet.
but that's just hip hop is my form of expression. Like my family's musical, and I write like books and novels and things like that. But I want like that's my chosen medium where I use rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. You know what I mean? And I'll be doing that either way.
Hell yeah. Hey, let's talk about who are some of your favorite MCs. You know what I mean? Top of the list, like true MCs and all. I know there's so many categories, but like you know what I mean. Like
No
who's-
categories?
Huh?
No categories or just whoever?
Yeah, no categories. I mean, you know what I mean. Like your personal. You know what I mean.
I like Pac a lot, yo. Pac is like dope. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about Pac is he's one of my favorites too. I felt like you can feel Pac.
That's the truth.
Right.
And like I get that a little bit with Kendrick in certain shit where you feel that shit, you know what I mean? And it's like that emotion, like. And people said he didn't really have bars, like he didn't have crazy bars, but he wasn't whack by far. You know what I mean?
No.
He was
He just
talking
wasn't
about
technical.
He was talking about fucking knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right,
For the most
exactly.
part.
And
Kendrick
I think
is
that's
nice.
I think that's a misconception too, like with
Yeah.
Pac, with the bars and everything, because
They
you know,
always say he's not lyrical.
well, he was a voice. I mean,
Yeah.
music is
Yeah.
expression. Hip hop, rapping, that's a form of expression, and it doesn't. You don't have to be spiritual, miracle, lyrical to be
Right,
considered
right.
a lyricist. You know, and I think Pac, that's he was on a different timeline. He
Word.
talked about,
like you
a
said,
lot
he
of
was a
life
voice.
situations.
That was a great way to put it. Like,
Yeah.
like he's,
I wrote
he's
books
an
reports
icon.
about book reports about Tupac and shit like that. Like he was way different. You know what I'm saying? He
And
was
you
way
could tell
different.
the passion that he had for the culture and for the art.
For the
so
art.
just because he wasn't,
Yeah,
doing
doing
metaphors,
similes and metaphors and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing all that.
we can't discredit,
Because he going to get on the track
As
and
an
get
MC.
busy. That is true.
I mean, I always say, you have your favorites because of what people do. It does. Nobody ever likes the same thing or the same MCs. 'Cause everybody gonna like
that.
all MCs in different ways because of how they affect them. So for me, my favorite MC is Pharoah Monch. You know what I'm saying?
That was
Like
dope.
my favorite MCs are like cats like Buster. Like they take me to a place of where like, damn, what made you think of that? Like Black Thought.
Black Thought.
And I think about these people and how I was introduced to them, listening to their early music, whether he was in Roots, because that's how I heard him. And when I heard him, I was like, damn, I mean, that's OC. You know, when you listen to people like that,
I grew up
it,
on that
it
album.
makes you, special ed for me.
Special ed.
Chubb Rock.
Chubb
you know,
Rock. Yo,
first
that was
story-
one as a kid.
storyteller.
I was, yes, like, oh, man, you brought that back.
DOC.
DOC.
These people have, and Buckshot.
Buckshot.
Everybody that I name, I always said is like, I don't know if you ever seen this episode of the Super Friends back in the day where all the Super Friends lost their powers and Robin had to be the one to get all of their powers to save them in time to get them and then get their powers back. But it was the first time you got to see all of the things happen in one person who have no powers. So when you think of all these MCs, I think like if I had to make a robot or make a super MC that I could mold into, I would think of all of these MCs And I think about it and when I write my songs and what I've learned from all of these MCs I talk about. So when I think about my top 5, like I said, I talk about Big Daddy Kane, Coogee Rap, Chuck D, Rakim. You know, when you listen to these people and the voices they have, not just how they spit, what they all gave me coming up, knowing like this is the bar that I have to get to be considered any kind of way like them, and this is how you get influenced into doing these things, and that was what my goal was. Even if I didn't think it was possible, I just like if I ever want to get in this, I want to be regarded in a way like that.
I was going to ask you, do you remember the first time you heard the Pheromones, Nate Dogg?
Oh yeah,
Most Def song. What'd
I
you
mean,
think
I heard
of
it.
that
I heard
shit?
when I mean because look, like I said, I know who Monch is, and to know that him and Most is on the song, I know what Most can do too. But like they asked Nate Dogg, what's the one song you could think of collaboration wise that's your top favorite? And he said, "Oh no." And Rap City, and they said, "Wow." He said, "Why that song?" He said, "Out of all the songs you could have picked," he said, "because that was the first time I was in the studio with some dudes who really, really was MCing, like really getting busy, and I had and it made me feel a certain way where I just came up with that hook, but they made that happen for me inside where I never been in a room with two guys." So Nate Dogg even said and co-signed what I'm saying, like he never heard no Monts do a guy in the studio with him, all that shit he was doing. Nate was like, wow, this is what it's about for him.
Right.
So for him even to get that off his chest, for me, when I heard it, I was like, psst, Monch is in an alien MC form type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's not a lot of people like him.
That's a fact.
What do you think about his new rock shit?
I mean, like I said, there's not a lot of people like him.
There's not.
He even pulls that shit off.
Yeah, it took me for a double take. I seen him not too long ago, and he was doing the rock shit. And I was
But
like,
it's the 13 in Organized Confusion, and there is his alter ego. So that's why it was convincing for me to see him doing it, and was working with good people doing it.
What's crazy is like I probably don't even think like someone like Pharaoh was mentioned on that top 50 list, and they have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you not put that cat?
I mean, those that know, he's on that list, but
Is he?
not be as high as we may want him to be. But who is?
Yeah.
I look at
so you gotta break
cellar
it down.
dwellers. You got to look at a lot
Like
of
with
cats.
him, you got to do like the most lyrical MC, and you put him there. You put some,
But
that's why I can't pick a
but see,
favorite.
that's where
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
that's where you're gonna run into roadblocks because
Exactly.
it's like being an MC is about being everything, and even where it's like how you're already being lyrical, being an MC. Our level of MCing may not be the average person's lyrical taste of what we're talking about. So for some, where we look at super MC, these people here can't even pretty much follow it.
Yeah.
So their brand of what they listen to is this.
That's true.
And then when they get into this, maybe they be like, oh, I see the difference. Because that's the clashing of what we say where it comes from like MCs and rappers.
Right.
A lot of people listen to rappers where like we listen to MCs because we looking for the lyrical in them. And it's not in everybody. So you have to accept there are tiers of MCs that we listen to where they say God MC and backpack MC and this MC, conscious MC. So it can't be that. It'll just be when you hear these people level wise, if you put them in the room and lock everybody in and everybody say their best verses, go. And if that has to be the judgment of everybody that's in the room, nobody's gonna say. They're just gonna say, "Wow, he was better than him," and because they're gonna now look at, "Wow, he was more of a presentation and lyrical and characteristics." So then that's when people would look at it in that way of what we was about to say.
right. I was gonna ask you to be considered a true MC. You got to be able to freestyle.
No, because that's another misconception. Because like then you're gonna run into how do we judge MCs that freestyle and how they make records, and then how do we judge MCs that make records that don't freestyle?
Yep.
I mean, there's like you said, there's too many components to it. Like because you could say I consider Papoose a top MC, but like he doesn't make good rap tracks like Drake. He doesn't have the numbers, you know what I mean? But he can fucking spit his ass off. Like,
But there's a lot that goes into that when you make that comparison because it's like a machine and then not a machine, a consistency,
true
but
that.
then a machine of where not as years in consistent, but evident because it's on every day.
And it's a great skill set to have as an MC. But yeah, I mean, like Chino XL is one of my favorite MCs, but the shit that he say, that's not coming off of freestyle.
Right.
So, not to take away anything from Chino because I don't know his freestyle skill set, but the shit that he writes, I couldn't imagine that him freestyling. So I wouldn't be as entertained to hear him freestyle as like I am when he's on the record.
And that's a lot of people. A lot of people not as nimble on the brain to jump around on tracks to not write shit down. Go in the studio and just layer it up. You know, it's cool to do, but it's like, you know, I always feel like your best things will come out when you concentrate and when you do sit down and focus, where it won't just be flashes. It'll be consistent, like boom, 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 boom. But I know a lot of dudes that can go bananas, and all it is being contained. Because a lot of MCs that freestyle feel like when they do get on the 16 bars, like, yo, I'm not saying enough in the 16. Where when I freestyle, I'll get into a groove. But when you would always say if you can contain yourself and bottle up the freestyle attitude and aspect of now knowing that you got 3 chances of 16s and an 8-bar hook in between to make an impression. Rather than one long freestyle.
a cannabis.
Not even so much him. It's just really like when you think about how you, and I think that a lot of focus has gone away from the care into doing songs, where people go in the booth and feel like they go spit 4, come back out, spit another 4. Say, hey, look, that's cool, but in the form of like the song making, the form of making a hook, an anthem, a remembrance of when the song goes off. You're waiting for it to come back on again, even if it's on the radio. You won't get tired of it. You love it. This was gone, the care of doing songs, because people now focus on just like, yo, my 16 gonna be hot. Yeah, but like, what about the build up in the 16, the giving something to somebody to say, yo, I remember that song was like, wow, let's play that again.
Right.
You know, and that element is gone, and because of everybody concentrating on just saying the hot things and not the hot whole song.
Right. I respect the art of freestyle, but like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to hear brothers freestyle all night. Like that shit is irritating to me. Like, I mean, I respect the cipher, but then some people they just want to do it for hours and hours and hours, and then the skill level starts decreasing. Yeah, it's just not as entertaining. Like if I'd rather hear a dope written.
Do you consider a written on the spot a freestyle? Like when you
Because I was gonna say there are different definitions of a freestyle from back in the day, right? Like back in the day, a freestyle wasn't off the top.
I think a freestyle is whatever you want it to be.
Right. Because I knew dudes that freestyle and say some written and go off
exactly.
after the written over, they go to freestyle.
and do that. They mix it up. That's what I'm saying. When you I think it's just impromptu and makes it a freestyle. To me, that's the
Mix
way.
and match.
Yeah, if you want to, because you could spit a written that's on the spot, and you know what I mean, it could be
We was
considered
talking
freestyle.
about mixtapes too. Like you see on the mixtape listing, it'll say freestyle, but
That's true.
it ain't off the top freestyle.
Not at all.
Right. Yeah.
Or them ciphers in BET where they fucking practice it like 4 fucking times, and then pick the best fucking take. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Because it's impromptu. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah. Hey, what do you guys think of Denver, man? You guys have been here a couple times.
Love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't just because of the weed either. The sites,
Nah,
sites are
dope.
dope. I've been out here a lot,
Yeah, the vibe is
Cervantes and
cool.
stuff like that. So
The people
I've
I
been
meet
coming
are
here.
good.
I came here when y'all lost the Super Bowl.
Which was
That
that?
was
The one
sad.
was that Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Because that one was sad, bro. That was that first play of the
and we
game.
was in Idaho first, and we came here, and like people came to the show, but you could tell the town was sad.
I love Denver, but I'm gonna
Sound
be a
real
hater,
sad.
man. I don't want to see y'all advance in the playoffs. Though.
Why is that?
Man, I'm a Mavericks fan.
Oh, you're talking about Nuggets.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that today. How the fuck do you have Luka and like he's one of my favorite players. Young
And
players,
don't make-
bro.
don't make
And
the
don't make
playoffs?
the fucking playoffs, bro.
Because you make decisions on letting people go earlier than that when you let Brunson go.
That's a fact.
That's what happened.
But y'all on fire. Y'all probably got the best team on the West.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yo, there's a Jamaican spot out here. I think it's called. I can't even remember. I was out here with the alcoholics and we went there, and I gotta find that place again, man. That was like the best
I'm sure we
Jamaican
can find
food
it.
I
Probably
ever
not
had.
too much, too many spots.
Yo, that's a dope name for it though. It was called I can't even remember, and there'd be
can't
people
even
like you.
remember.
They'd be like, yo, there's a spot, and it'd be
But I
called I
remember-
can't even remember.
I remember the
Yeah,
food.
that's-
I remember
yeah,
the food.
that's a
Yeah.
fucking dope
You're
ass.
gonna have like
idea
the
right
listeners all looking for
Like
some
I
place.
can't,
called
I can't even remember.
Yeah,
That'd be
can't
fire. Yo, write that down. Write that. Yeah, I wrote that. There we go. Now that's dope.
And yo, shout out to Stat, man, over at
Word
Bar
up.
Red.
Yeah, for sure.
Denver,
doubt.
because he been keeping
About
this
to
shit
order
going.
some food too.
Heck yeah. Hey, what kind of new things you guys got coming out? You got any new music coming out or?
Well, I'll say this right now. The Artifacts album is out. No expiration date. Produced by Buck Wild. If anybody want to cop that, all the vinyl is gone. I have no more CDs going, but you can go digitally and pick up the album on any streaming site, Spotify, whatever, Apple, Google, all that shit is up there. New tour coming up this May and June in Europe. Me and my man DJ Mr. Lynn from Company Flow, Jersey DJ representative. We going on the road, and it's like being with Lynn on the road is like being with Chaos. He does the same things, same mannerisms, so it gives a big comfortability for me. We're gonna I'm gonna put out a new album very soon with my man Tony Galvin. May he rest in peace. This is gonna be a lot of videos for this album, a lot of guests. I'm not gonna say too much right now, but I'm gonna put out a single maybe in June after I do the tour, and put the album out maybe before the fall. But four albums gonna come out back to back to back, and y'all gonna see all this stuff happening. And for right now, no expiration date. Salute the Tame One, DJ Chaos, man. They rest in
R.I.P.
peace. This has not been easy. It's been a little difficult, but a lot of things that's still gonna happen. I'm gonna make happen, and y'all just know that the tradition will continue.
Hell yeah. Shit, our condolences go out to you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right now I got a group. I'm in a group called American Poets 2099. So we about to drop a new album. Like I said, my man Just P working on dropping his. I got an EP that I'm doing right now that I'm just gonna do digitally. Put that out there as a rapper, and then I got a producer album that I'm working on as well. Doing some production for Spice One for his new album, Nevermore for Crucial Conflict. Doing some stuff with him.
I was going to ask you about that, man. How did you become connected with some of the cats you have? Because you know,
Just the networking, man.
Raz
That's-
Kaz, Spice One, Tash.
Hip hop. I'm a fan first. Always been a fan first, and then I just have so much respect for the culture. I'm a hip hop junkie, so a lot of opportunity that I had to, build with a lot of brothers. Just, exchange contacts and wherever we can help each other out. That's where I'm at with it. So
That's why I'm here.
yeah,
Word.
been
Me
building
too,
ever
me
since,
too.
huh?
This ain't about just some MC shit, y'all.
Oh yeah, he's good
This
people.
is all business. You know what I'm saying? Black business, every kind of business. As long as this is about like growing in business,
Definitely.
us sharing knowledge. Me being an elder, and understanding my role and what I'm standing for right now. And we talked a lot, even before we even started doing multiple shows and doing shows like this. Even this weekend that we're doing, this is just proof that when we put plans together, things can work. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is good at what he does. It's not a lot. There's not a lot of black cats out there
That is true.
doing what we're doing, what he's doing. So I always say this. When I'm, a lot of times when I come out west, I'm gonna tell y'all. I always say this. A lot of times I always wonder where the black promoter is, because we're kind of non-existent. And this is the thing that I'm gonna say too. That's dope, and it's a reminder. majority of times that I do shows out west is most of the time a Mexican promoter and maybe sometimes a white promoter. Never really a black promoter. So I rise up when I see that because when I look at where hip hop come from, when I go out west, I don't see a lot of my people that deal with the culture part. It'll be the fancy part and the MCs, the bigger names that cats will get together and bring out, but it's never the culture part.
Why do you think that is, though, Al?
It's like with everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? Like cats, it's also an age gap. It's a bridge where with older promoters, they'll do as much as they can to do this, but because there's no attention to the young cats about just this thing in general, the way not say what real hip hop is, but there's no light shown on it because younger cats of our age group that's still going to shows and maybe some in their 20s and 30s, they still participate, where the younger generation that's in charge now don't participate because you see the music that they're putting out.
They can't.
So
they get shot up.
Where we come from is always going to be younger and older, where the young older dudes like, yo, they don't know nothing. The younger cats like, they too old. So there's no togetherness until you see like some cypher, BET cypher, or like they did at the Grammys, where they go from older all the way to the young. You saw how it changed from big party records and hooks and anthems and hip hop array and Buddy and everything, and then it went to just the trappy part of it, and then that's when you seen the decline of us older generation not giving correct education to the younger cats to let them understand, like, look, we here with y'all. Look, we are performing with y'all in the same environments and shows and festivals. So I think where we went wrong is not teaching that part of it, but it can work. It is working. You know, it's a lot of parts where I think now they understand that, you know, when we say passing on the torch and when we say that is the bridge and the gap of our generations, it's just us saying to the younger cats, like, look, man, look, we know y'all like don't have no Grandmaster Flash of y'all generation. Like the young generation don't have no self-destruction. They have no awareness of like where to stop and come together is what it is. So we're trying to deal with it in a way where, like, even through music, but there's still levels of the music. Underground hip hop, this kind of hip hop, it's radio, poppy hip, it's all this shit. Got singing and rhyming. It's a lot of stuff. So, but the main.
What I find out is that a lot of brothers make fun of underground hip-hop.
Right, because it's not, because they feel like it ain't gonna make them no money. They feel, but then when they see today's 50th year anniversary, now everybody is so called into it now. A lot of shows going on, a lot of festivals going on, a lot of stuff where people are like, yo, yeah, but look, it's not convenient to be that. It's this is what it is. Every year celebrate hip hop in a full way. You know what I'm saying? Like they have afternoon shows where it's the throwback show. Then at night it's all the little you know other music, but it's not together. You go to parties, they have a section where to be the throwback part, the radio part, the reggae part, the oldies and goodies part, and you know. But then it's because it's a party. It's everybody in the party you have to cater to.
Yeah.
And hip hop ain't that way, where it's catering to everybody.
Nah, just
certain different
people.
levels of so much mother shit. So many people, so much stuff that it has to be, but it's still also has to include everybody too. Just because this is what it is, I understand it, but there are no black promoters that deal with underground hip hop in the way of, like he said, because they say, well, they ain't gonna give me no money. That's backpack. Da, 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 da. Do your research. Right. It does.
Well, that's what I was gonna tell you, man. I need to hook you up with my homies from the Psycho Realm too, because that's a whole different element. A group of people, you know what I mean?
Dope.
You know what
I
mean?
I've been in their studio and recorded out there at the Drug Lab out in Cali.
Yeah, we was talking about it last time with Razzcast, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they got their own little whole movement out there in Cali.
There's some cats that I saw out there, man, that really impressed me for, like, that I kind of didn't know about. These cats called Coyote were fucking tight as fuck. And this chick, Reverie.
Oh yeah, I never read Rep though.
Killing it, like, you know what I mean?
Even is Vel Wonder? Where's Vel Wonder from? Or Vel 9 from? She's from over there, right? And Stoner Products from over there, right?
I thought she's from like Texas. No.
Yeah, she's from Texas.
Snow's from Texas?
Yeah, she's from
And
Texas.
and Vel's from Cali? Okay. They're both nice.
Oh yeah.
They got some dope female MCs out here.
Yeah, this chick Nate Renee's
my
pretty dope, man. There's this chick, she's a singer, she's R&B, her name's Rachel Bay. There's some cool singers,
Oh, that's
rappers
what's up.
here and there, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I was gonna ask y'all, man, by chance, do y'all have any verses or what? You down to kick a verse?
I mean,
You got some for us, Just P?
I do.
You got
If,
an acapella or what?
yeah, but are we rapping? We rapping? Okay.
I got it. I make
I know,
the.
that's what I'm saying. If everyone's doing it, I'll do it. But if not, then leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? But if you need me to.
I'll spit something real quick.
All right, so then I'll do it, Dave. Okay.
I'll make the skin on your hair raise once my rhyme is spoken. Cut the head off Medusa and throw it out in the ocean. How dare you get the notion that you deserve a title? Put your mouth on the curb is how I serve my rival. One hand on the Bible, I swear I'm never scared. If a rapper wanna take it there, I'm well prepared. These bitches stare whenever I enter the room. The reason why, because I'm fly like a witch on a broom. I understand you might listen to whom. I'm not a fan. Get the trash can. I'm listening to MF Doom. Grimy nigga. Even though I'm still well groomed, one of the illest. People saying get well soon. Never had a silver spoon, fam, I eat with my hands. Got money for a feature, I will meet your demand. My rhyme content. Open up your pineal gland. If you're remedial, then you might not understand. The only way I can pitch it is I give it underhand.
Haha.
Damn.
I like that. I like that. Check it.
that was
Yo.
dope.
Sparring sessions with Zeus. I swim laps around Poseidon. I'm eating salmon with his trident. I spark a L with the lightning. Frightening. Potential surpasses Mount Olympus. My first rhyme book, I wrote that with hieroglyphics. Polo shoe wearing, pussy wall tearing. The weight of the world, the crown is overbearing. The bitches and the fellas know I'm gang related like in Helico. See me everywhere I go is Matalo, day hello. Now in a minute you'll be trespassing on some what you doing here. I ain't just asking. The swordsman, no talk, nigga just slashing. I make you wear a $150 like it's just action. I'm mad smack, but there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
I don't
you.
even want to. That's it. All right.
It's up to you. Did you want? I mean,
Black Menace.
The Black Menace. I
Be
feel
on
like
the
I gotta,
lookout for the Body Bag Ben
yo,
album.
first of all, Just P, the Black Menace, Body Bag Ben album, motherfucking Just P and Bo Fat, Supreme the Almighty, that's coming soon. Just P and Swab, that's coming soon.
you got a gang of shit. Huh?
I mean, I try to work as much as possible. I mean, I'm mad smack with the fucking cookie and I'm stumbling over words. But yeah, check my music, check me, whatever. If we getting, I'm with the shits, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
You guys got any final thoughts? Any last words?
Yeah, man, we about to go knock this show out. Go get
Yeah,
ready.
word.
Word
Going
up.
to the bar red, my man Stat, me and Sadat,
Yeah.
my man Just P, master of ceremony. We about to come through. My man DJ Hush is waiting for us. About to go give him the stick and let him put the music in and make this happen.
Shout out to Denver. Shout out to Southwest, man. I want to build with more Southwest MCs too. So, yeah. On the Instagram, it's
Yeah, what's your-
MastaOfCeremoniez. That's Master Ceremonies with an
Master
A and a
Ceremonies.
Z on the end. But yeah, Denver MCs, reach out to me. I know I built with a lot of y'all out there at Bar Red, but yeah, we trying to expand the Southwest stage. So.
For sure.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be smacked. No, of course.
What's your social
Yo, I'm
media?
Just P100, JUSP100, The Black Menace. Google me, search me. I'm out there. I'm everywhere. You heard?
And what's your social media there, L?
All right, so it's L_DA_Sensei SENSEI. So my other page was hacked. So unfollow Sensei from NJ.
Okay.
The new one, EL_DA_SENSEI Elder Sensei, and I'm there. Come check me out.
There you have it. Once again, it's your boy Joe Thunder, the Smoking Joe Thunder podcast.
Smoking
Elder
Joe.
Sensei,
Smoking Joe.
Master of Ceremonies,
Yep.
Just P.
Just P.
Check them out, man. They got that hot Dylon fire. Yes, sir. Later.